Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today I'm looking at High Speed for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was developed by Rare and published by TradeWest in 1991. This is a video pinball game that was designed to translate an actual pinball table, High Speed. Never seen High Speed in person, but apparently it's an actual table. Now, each pinball game, basically, no matter where you're looking, for the most part, they seem to have some sort of story associated with them. I know you have to use your imagination with these, of course, but usually they try to fit in some sort of a rough story into the mix. You can find a manual for most games, and that's kind of what they're doing. Here, we're supposed to be enabling a police chase, and then we have to escape the police chase. I know this is just done by bouncing a pinball off of specific areas of the game in a particular order. Most tables have a story like this, and sometimes they really talk them up in the manual. Here, doesn't work. Well, I guess that's up to you. I guess the game is okay. I mean, I'm a fan of pinball games overall, and I know the NES has a couple. This one, like I said, it's okay. I think it's lacking in some aspects, though. Now, I know that the NES had limitations, but it just seems that some of the design choices they made with this one maybe didn't get implemented very well with this game. First, the size of the table. The table is larger than the size of a standard television screen. It's not uncommon. But in cases like this, what this then becomes is you need to wonder about the method of how they're going to move the screen back and forth so you can see the whole table. The way that the screen moves really matters. Does the screen jump, from one area to the other? Does it just scroll smoothly as the ball moves around? Or does it maybe cut to a different screen temporarily? This can really affect your ability to play the game because it's a pinball game and things get moving really fast. And your job here is to visually follow the pinball as it moves across the table so you can bounce it around appropriately. In this game, they do something that I haven't seen in other pinball games that I've been looking at. Here, the bottom section of the screen, where the lower flippers are located, the screen will freeze, and the top portion of the screen will scroll up and down as the pinball moves around. Visually, I find this really jarring. It feels like the screen is sort of splitting in half in front of me, and I have a hard time adjusting to this particular layout. I mean, I suppose the layout of the table works just fine. I mean, as far as where things are located on the physical pinball table, that's okay. I mean, it is based on an actual working pinball game that was in production. So logically here it's fine. It's just that the way that they do this in the NES, the way that they make the screen break up is disturbing to me. And the graphics that they use here, they just feel overly rough. They feel a little too rough to me. First, the colors seem to be constrained. I really thought there was a larger color palette for the NES. In here, it just feels like there are certain colors they could have been using that are just missing from the palette. I wonder if maybe some different colors would have helped make this visually stand out better. They also try to add some depth to the graphics of the game by adding these little black checks through the various colors. These just hash marks to try to give some definition, I guess. And I just can't help but thinking, maybe that was a bad choice. To me, I think it makes the whole table just look scratchy or out of focus. I guess I'd also like to know what this table would look like if none of these checks, none of these extra black marks existed. Maybe the table would look more cartoony, but I've seen pinball games that adopt that particular style and they really work. I think it might have made the graphics on the table maybe a little more identifiable and not seem so muddy. Right now they just seem like they kind of, I don't know, it's just a big sort of mush mess on the screen. Also, when you lose a pinball here, the screen changes to black and you go to a different screen and then you see your score and then they tell you what pinball you're currently on. I think this flip to another screen is just distracting. When I lose a pinball in a game like this, I want to get back to the game as fast as possible. This screen keeps me from starting up quickly and moving forward. It's an NES game, and overall it's okay. Just visually, I think that some color choices, some slightly different design choices here might have been better. I will say that the music in this one is pretty good, actually. I mean, I wouldn't pop in a CD of this or anything, but it's totally appropriate for an NES game, and it works. I guess overall, this game it's okay for me, I suppose. And it's also not an expensive game, that helps too. If this was $30 or $40, yeah, I'd probably be pretty upset, but no, it was just a couple of bucks. It's alright. This is also the same pinball engine as the game Pinbot. I do have that cartridge, I just haven't played it yet. but this one was the second that used that same engine. Eventually I'll give pinball a try. Well, that's all I have today for High Speed for the NES. Thanks for giving me a few minutes to talk about it, and I hope to catch you on another video.